and welcome back to my channel. As of recording, I'm getting ready for the Christmas season as best I can since I hate it. However, I'm starting today with my lineup of Christmas movies, Jen style. These are not your, traditional sappy Hallmark card. I don't do that, okay? What I did was look up some movies that were like horror, some horror, mainly horror comedy, I imagine, but Christmas themed, okay? That is how we roll with Christmas, okay? Just saying. So I looked up and found, wrong list, too many lists. It's a Wonderful Knife. And that is what we're going to start with. I also found 3 or 4 other ones, 2 of which I've seen. A Wonderful Knife I have never seen before, and the other one that I wrote down here I have not seen, but 2 of them I have. Anywho, we are going to start off, like I said, with It's a Wonderful Knife, which came out in 2003. I do not know the names of any of the actors or actresses in this movie. I will say that when I watched it, I recognized it. Totally left me now. The aunt I recognize. I don't know from where. I don't know her name. As far as the actress's name, it didn't ring a bell with me, but her face rings a bell with me. I'm really good with faces. But I have no idea what I know her from. I just know her face. Also, I was going to wear a Santa hat, but I put it on and took a look, and that's just not happening. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Just know that I did go through the house and put stockings up all around. Okay, you can't see them in this particular frame, but there's 2 in here. There's 4 in my living room, and there's at least 1 in my kitchen, and then some wreaths on the doors. Cupboard doors. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm doing. Okay. All right. So we're going to jump into It's a Wonderful Knife. Are we feeling Christmassy yet? As of the time this comes out, it should be, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I don't know, the first, Friday, I guess, of December? I don't know. Whatever day of the, or number of the month that is. You know, because you're watching this. Anywho. It's a Wonderful Knife. This movie was kind of not what I was expecting. It is a horror comedy. I wasn't really expecting that. I've seen this on Shudder for the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 Christmases, I guess. But I never watched it, never looked into it. But I mean, listen, there are some shots in this movie that are fantastic. There are things about this movie that I absolutely love that we'll get into. But first, let's break down the movie, shall we? So, our movie begins in the town of Angel Falls, where we meet Winnie Carruthers and her family as they celebrate the Christmas season. They've been out shopping, what have you. They just did the lighting of the Christmas tree, which is always fun. And we got to meet kind of the bigwig around town. He's a bit of a douche. Anyways, Winnie and her family are walking home from the night's events when her father David is called away by his business partner Henry Walters, who is also the CEO of Walters Industry, the business that obviously they both work for. Henry goes to persuade a longtime resident of Angel Falls named Roger Evans. He is another character that I recognized. I almost forgot about him. I don't know the actor's name, but the actor who plays Roger Evans was the Marlboro smoking man in the X-Files. I was very happy to see him. I like him. But he goes to persuade Roger Evans to sign off his house to be demolished to make room for a massive shopping mall. But Rogers absolutely refuses. He explains that, he wants to pass on the house and the land to his granddaughter, Kara, who is Winnie's best friend. Rogers also makes this comment to Henry about when Henry's father used to be, of course, the CEO and the bigwig of the town, blah, 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 right? He makes this comment to Henry that, when his father was alive, he wasn't trying to buy out everybody's businesses, and he didn't want to own the people, right? He didn't want to own the town. He didn't want to own the people. He wanted the people to thrive and be happy in the town, right? He wanted them to live their best life and work in their little shops and stuff that they loved and be with their families and stuff, right? And this Henry isn't like that. He wants power, right? He wants the town for himself. He could care less about anybody else that lives in this town, especially those that own like mom and pop stores and stuff. He wants none of that, right? And this is what Roger is trying to explain. Like if you open this ginormous mall, this great big chain store, you're gonna, all the people in town that run their little mom and pop shops and that have been running them for, since God was a child, they're going to be out of business and they're going to end up, unemployed and stuff, or working for these big chains, and that's not what they want. I mean, their life's work has been their little stores, right? Why would you take that from them? He also makes mention that Henry's father favored David over Henry, saying something to the effect of, he should have left the business to David instead of Henry because David was more of a son to him than Henry ever was. And damn. Damn. Later on, Kara and Winnie and, what's the brother's name? Jimmy. Kara's brother, Jimmy, go to this big party in town that all the kids are going to. It's where all the cool kids are. And at that party, Kara is killed by this, really kind of cool looking killer, really. It's like a town, the local serial killer, right? They call him the Angel. And it's funny because if you look at the angel on top of the tree, it looks like the angel killer. Like it's a neat little touch. They do stuff like this through the movie. And the outfit that he dons is very interesting. The mask especially, in my opinion. I think the cloak and getup and whatever, I mean, it works, but the mask, it works, in my opinion, because of the mask, if that makes sense. But this angel killer kills Kara and nearly kills Winnie's brother Jimmy. But Winnie ends up electrocuting the killer, and when she unmasks the angel, it turns out to be Henry. 1 year later, David, Winnie's dad, is now the CEO of Walter's Industry. Winnie is still grieving Clara's death while her family has moved on. And quite frankly, so has the town. Like, it's just all kind of like swept under the rug and everybody's just like, let's just carry on. Merry Christmas. They've all moved on from the events of the previous year. Winnie attends a Christmas party at her boyfriend Robbie's house, where she kind of befriends the local town outcast by the name of Bernie. And she's a cute little thing. They had sort of locked eyes across the room, foreshadow, the year prior at the Christmas party before all hell broke loose, right? And she was kind of teased a little bit for trying to be nice to this. They just call her weirdo. Yeah. She also discovers at this party that Robbie has been cheating on her with her friend Darla for like an entire year. She goes to Bernie and says, like, do you know where Robbie is? He'd been texting her to come to this party and whatever, right? She was at home with her family. And she gets there and she can't find him. It's like, I believe the party's at his house. And she's like, oh, he went out back. He went out, like, he's out in the backyard, right? And there's a couple of kids on the couch drinking or whatever. And they're like, oh, he's in the laundry room. What are you talking about? So she goes to the laundry room. She just kind of walks in. And, of course, you know, her boyfriend and this chick are making out in the laundry room, as one does, I suppose. And, you know, he's like, dude, like, we've been doing this, like, for a year. Like, you haven't noticed. You haven't been present. Like, why are you surprised, right? And she's just had enough, right? Like, Winnie is so done. Her parents have moved on. They're, you know, celebrating Christmas like nothing happened. They have this great big house now, this great big expensive life, right? Like, their life did a total 180 and they're just doing financially so awesome that, you know, and she can't appreciate, she misses her friend, right? I mean, her brother was almost killed. She, in fact, killed somebody. Like, she's been through it. And nobody seems to care. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to remember it. Like, everybody keeps saying to her, why do you want to relive it? Like, Winnie goes alone to a bridge and looking up, she sees like the aurora lights in the sky and wishes that she had never been born. Suddenly, the aurora disappears and the town's power briefly goes out before returning. Winnie crosses the street to ask this random man that she sees, like, did you see that? The power went out. Like, do you know what's happening? What's going on? And he's been stabbed. He's, you know, got a gaping wound in his chest and, you know, he's like, ugh. And then all of a sudden, she's met with the angel and he gives chase. And Winnie's just running like the wind. She learns that the town's local sheriff is Henry's younger brother. This guy is a douche. Before we had seen Henry's brother, he was like taking selfies behind him and everybody was teasing, saying that he had an OnlyFans that he started last year. He's that pretty boy with no brains. Like, that's kind of his character when we first meet him, right? You know, he's on the TikTok and all this kind of shit. Like, it's and he's just completely clueless about everything. Like, he's just dumb as mud. He's what is that character in Scream? Goofy? I don't know, Doofy? Sure. That character without the charm, right? Of course, the new sheriff, the Henry's brother, claims to not recognize him. He says he doesn't know her, right? She's then greeted by Henry, who claims he doesn't know her either. And we also find out that he's the mayor. He is now the mayor. The mayor. Not just some big CEO guy. He's the fucking mayor. Winnie goes to see her family, who also doesn't recognize her. And she realizes she has been thrust into an alternate reality of some sort in which she's never existed. Meaning that the angel is still alive and has already killed several more people since the previous year, including her brother Jimmy. It's so sad. Extremely upset, Winnie goes to Robbie's Christmas party and encounters Bernie, explaining everything that's happened to this point to her, okay? After narrowly escaping the angel, Bernie and Winnie deduce that the angel has been targeting the teenage children of the homeowners whose properties Henry had wanted to acquire. So anybody who owned a business in town, the kids of the homeowners were getting killed. My bad. Winnie decides she needs her father's help to stop Henry and kill him again, to successfully convince and also to convince her Aunt Gladys, of her situation. Gladys is the aunt that I recognize her face, but I have no idea. I have no idea what I've seen her in. Winnie tries to convince her father that Henry killed Jimmy, but David refuses to listen to her and demands that she leave. Like, they sit down and have this huge heart-to-heart, and they, kind of reminisce about Jimmy, and she says that she knows him. She's trying to tell David that she knows Jimmy, that they were friends, that they're, like, she doesn't want to drop the bomb that they're related, that, he's dad and all this kind of shit, because he has no memory of it, right? Like, there's no point. And to get him to help her, she needs him to trust her, right? So she's trying to avoid that whole thing. But she drops the ball anyway, and she does end up calling him dad at some point. Like, they're kind of bickering back and forth about one thing or another, and she's like, Dad! Like, listen! And he just loses his shit, right? Like, I had one kid, he's gone, you're not my, like, I'm not your dad, I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, you need to leave, right? On her way out, Winnie witnesses the killer murdering her mother. That poor woman has been through it. She, in this reality, has become an absolute wino and a bit of a whore. The angel then tries to attack Winnie, Bernie, and Gail, but gets knocked out. Winnie unmasks the killer, shocked to find that it's David behind the mask. David regains consciousness, and the three flee. Winnie, Bernie, and Gail kill David after luring him to the movie theater where Bernie works. At that point, also, Gail does get killed. It's so sad. I love Gail. Oh my God, she is so funny. She is actually married to another woman. And that woman I recognized from an interview. I don't know what the interview was about. I don't know. But we find out that in this reality, Gail's wife was actually killed as well. And now Gail has been killed. As Winnie and Bernie return to the bridge under the Aurora lights, Bernie reveals that she contemplated self-deletion, but Winnie saved her. Winnie wishes that she was born after all, but nothing happens. She realizes that Henry is still poses a danger to the town as mayor, and that he needs to die again before Winnie can return to her original timeline. Winnie and Bernie come across a rally being hosted by Henry, which mirrors in a different way the beginning, because instead of it being the lighting of the tree, it's like the good and the naughty list, which I believe is referenced also in the beginning. But now he's like doing it. it's so dark. Come across a rally being hosted by Henry where all the attendees appear to be in a trance. Yeah, and their eyes look weird. Like, I didn't even notice it until, like, the spell was broken. And I was like, holy shit. Like, that was a very subtle yet neat effect. The two confront him and accuse him of the deaths of the past year. Henry confirms that he killed Jimmy, and in doing so broke David's spirit and placed him under his control, making him his accomplice. Couldn't think of the word. When Henry attacks Winnie, Bernie stabs him to death, breaking his control over the townspeople. As the aurora appears, Winnie and Bernie kiss. Winnie wakes up in her bedroom on Christmas morning. She cheerfully greets her family, and her parents apologize for not allowing her to process her trauma. Winnie then rushes over to Bernie's house, but Bernie reveals that she still has her memories from their time together in the alternate reality. And they hug before agreeing to celebrate Christmas together. The end. Listen, that ending bit with Bernie remembering the alternate reality thing doesn't really work for me. Although I have to say, I was really rooting that they would get together, Winnie and Bernie. Oh my God, they're so cute together. The minute they locked eyes, in the beginning, when they kind of met across the room and shared a look and a little smile, oh, it was so cute. I loved it. I loved it so much. I did enjoy this movie. This movie was great. The ending, no, that, not the going to Christmas together and stuff, but just her remembering what happened when nobody else does. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know if it's supposed to be following something from like It's a Wonderful Life, because I've never seen that movie. But from what I know, Clarence, which is who Bernie is supposed to represent, and then it kind of flips and Winnie represents Bernie. But anyways, Bernie was an angel, not a person that I don't even know the guy's name in the movie, that the other guy knew, right? He was like an angel. He was a stranger. It wasn't anybody that he recognized, right? Anyways, aside from that, this movie was very well done. There were some shots, I believe it's in the theater, for some reason, like there's like a camera flash that goes off all the time. I don't know if there was a problem with the projector or because they're in the movie house, or I don't know what was going on with that, but I did not like that scene. That whole thing, the way that was shot totally took me out of the movie and kind of wrecked that whole scene for me. I don't do well with flashy flash, like strobe lights, anything like that. I can't. Like instant migraine. I was kind of watching it. I was just kind of listening to it and kind of checking every now and again because I can't do the flashy flash. That was the only one that was like really, really bad in my opinion, as far as like how things were shot. A lot of this has some really, really well done footage. I don't know. I'm not a film person. I'm not a technical buff. There's not much really in the way of scenery. There's a couple really nice shots of like the town like lit up at night. That's really pretty. But like the kills are shot quite well. The killer is shot. When we first see him in all his glory, I mean, he looks fantastic. But then the outfit kind of meh. But like I said, with the mask, it's the mask that does it for me. I don't know what it is about the mask, but the mask does it for me. That's awesome. It was really well done. The comedy, I mean, it's like that cheesy sort of comedy, right? Like it's not like, red-faced, belly laugh, tears flowing, nose dripping, kind of laughing. Like it's oh yeah, that's cute, right? It's fine. I did enjoy it. It was a good watch. It was a neat little twist on the Wonderful Life story, right? It was kind of that meets Freaky Friday sort of deal in the sense of time travel, right? I don't know. It was interesting. I did enjoy the movie. I want to see, I can't remember, Gail Prescott is the aunt. That's the character's name in the movie. And she is played by Catherine Isabel. That name means nothing to me, but I know her face. Her face is I've seen her in things. I don't know what I've seen her in, but I've seen her in things. And then there was the cigarette smoking man. I don't think he's on here. Yeah, I don't see. Oh, there he is. Roger Evans is the character, and the actor's name is William B. Davis. But he was he was called the Marlboro Man or the Smoking Man in X-Files. He was fantastic. Anyways, this was a great movie. I enjoyed it. For sure. I will try and convince my kids to sit down and watch this with me over the Christmas season. I think this was fun. It was fun. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.